I'm going to introduce our last two speakers of the day who have the hardest job because they're the last two speakers of the day. Carl Stitz from Lakeland Community College and Jeff Zeager from Lorain County Community College. In Ohio, they're known as the winners of the 2010 Faculty Innovation Award, but I tend to think of them as the math professor equivalents to Abbott and Costello. So with that, I'm going to pass it along to Carl and Jeff.
Hi, so we are aware that we are the only thing that stands between you and happy hour. So we have good news, we don't have any slides. So we'll just make this as fast as possible. I'd like to say hello to my 7-year-old daughter, Taylor. And then we'll get, thank you. Okay, so our story starts back when we were in graduate school in the 1990s, and college algebra textbooks were expensive back then. And as the new editions came out, we realized they weren't changing that much. So back in 1998, when Jeff and I first met, we had a plan that, we could do something better for our students. And so 15 years later, 2009, no, it's 11 years later, in 2009, we were both granted sabbaticals from our respective institutions to write a free open source pre-calculus textbook. And here we are 3 years later, working on the third revision. If you want to put up the title page, Mark.
Do you have the book? So we don't have a lot of fancy formats. We have, so far, one format, PDF. We were inspired earlier today, and we edited this while we weren't listening to other people. To give it another subtitle, this came from an earlier conversation at the corporate office, A Tangled Web of Nonsense. We wanted to put that in there. So we went with the PDF format because, honestly, that's the only way we knew we could give it away for 100% free. We use LaTeX, which is an open source document typesetter. We did all the typesetting ourselves, all the writing ourselves, all the exercises, all of the answers, even the correct ones are ours, all ourselves, and put it up on our website, Stitz&Zeager. By the way, my name is Zeager. Much like Christmas, there's no L in it. If
you type in Stitz, S-T-I-T-Z, and Zeager, Z-E-A-G-E-R, into Google, we're the #1 hit. So
we got that going for us, which is nice.
So we work at community colleges, and a lot of our students do not have the money or the resources to effectively use all the electronic gadgets. Although I did catch someone cheating with their iPhone. They had downloaded our book to their iPhone and was cheating, and that was, both upsetting and cool at the same time. So we went with Lulu.com. It's an on-demand printer, and so we have our textbook in glorious high contrast, black and white. The cover is designed by a student, Dario Rampersad.
We're pretty sure that's a photo of tropical Northeast Ohio, but we're not 100% sure. Like the old song says, and you'll date yourself if you start humming it, there's no surf in Cleveland.
Now this book on Lulu.com, you can order it for $14.44. It's a 600-page book plus shipping. We have the trigonometry portion, which retails for $9.21 plus shipping.
It's a lot prettier than what I have here. This is my edit copy. As he said, we're working on the third edition. We've got a bookstore deadline of July 15th to get done. By July 15th, whatever's done will get up on our site and be ready to go. We host all the LaTeX code. So if you are unhappy with my removal of all of the Oxford commas, because I don't like them, you can put them all back in.
He was taking another one out today. I just saw him was in the back there earlier taking out all my Oxford commas. A lot of our word problems feature Sasquatch, because a lot of the problems in math books are made up anyway, so we use Sasquatch. You can replace that with Chupacabra or Bigfoot, whatever. We designed it to be open source so folks like Jen at Texas A&M could download the book and remix it and make it their own. We don't get any royalties on anything because we're suckers.
And by that, we do not get a single penny from the sales at Lulu. We do not get anything off of the website, and we do not get anything from WebAssign in the partnership.
So even with bookstore markup, which we all know how much that is, students can get their college algebra book for $20. And what we found is most of the students at the community college will buy an actual dead tree copy if you make it $20. And that's the copy they actually prefer, at least at our schools.
Right. About 75% of our students will buy the printed version because it's only $20. Now, the trigonometry book is separate. It's different depending on which school. So we have different versions on our website and at Lulu because we cover different chapters At Lakeland, they cover all of chapters 1 through 9 in college algebra. At Lorraine, we don't cover chapters 7 and 9 until in our pre-calc class. 10 and 11 are the trigonometry. The big things in the edits, we've expanded the exercise set significantly. We added 75 pages to the trigonometry stuff from mid-May to mid-June. We're approaching about 60 more pages of college algebra stuff so far. Have no idea where it's going to hit. Lulu has a boundary, something silly,
740 pages. So
to get the soft binding on it, so we'll have to try and keep the college algebra at that. But that's really the only
pretty
limitation.
much, we just took the book, put it up on a very shoddily designed website by myself. If you go to Stitz&Zeager.com.
Can you go to Stitz-Zeager.com?
See the wonderful
on the
gray
interwebs?
website that's up there. We made YouTube videos. And so we have videos on YouTube that Jen actually mentioned that they use some of those at Texas A&M. And we just put it up on the website. Once again, we had designed this for our students. So we infused a lot of our personality into the book. It's much like the One Ring of Power from the Lord of the Rings. We had no idea.
By that he means we poured our cruelty and malice into the sarcastic footnotes, which you will see scattered throughout the book.
Yeah, the footnotes ostensibly are the best part of the book. But then people started to contact. This was the website, and we start getting emails from people, like Joel Robbins, who's associate chair at the University of Wisconsin at Madison. They took our book, downloaded the code, remixed it. They use it there. We got an email from, I think, didn't Joel? Joel wrote us. Was it Joel?
Well, they called us, yeah. WebAssign called us and said, hey, we're looking into open source stuff. Do you guys want to partner? We're like, yeah, that's great, because I had been using WebAssign at Lorraine to teach the calculus
And then Joel
classes.
asked the magic question, what's your revenue model? And Jeff said, 0.
So Chris Hall and Joel sit there for about a minute and a half saying nothing on the phone.
We thought we
had
lost them. But that
means
means
I think we can make that work.
But here's the good thing, yeah. So it's $25 for the college for all of our stuff, you know. But here's what's really cool is, let's say you're teaching calculus, and the students amazingly don't know their pre-calculus well enough. If you're already using WebAssign, say with your Stewart's Calculus book, you need to ask, right? But they will add in access to our content for free. So that's all.
So if you're already a WebAssign user, you just call them up and say, hey, put that in as one of my resources, and you can add that 100%. Now, I don't know when the new stuff will get put up onto the WebAssign system, where we're going to be working with Jen Ferrali and her team as soon as we can to get all the new stuff up there. But by July 15th, that site will have the new stuff on there in all of its glorious black and white.
My wife's paying my brother-in-law to redesign it.
Yeah,
because Jeff didn't like the gray.
Yeah.
He didn't like the Oxford commas, and he doesn't like the gray.
For those of you who have ever been to Northeast Ohio, from roughly Halloween to Easter, it's about that color all the time.
So it's very representative of our hometown.
We needed something that wasn't quite so Dickensian, really. We were looking for something a little more flashy. I like the WAUG yellow. We might go with that in a flashing GIF.
We should shut up. Now I'm talking for 10 minutes, and everyone wants to get to happy. Is there anything else? Anything important?
Well, we needed to thank WebAssign, obviously. I mean, I don't know if we've been a real thorn in their side or not. I mean, they responded.
They invited us here and paid for our room.
Yes. Yeah,
and Jeff's hoping you'll comp him for the internet in his room, too.
That's right. I haven't asked. I didn't ask. What's this? Oh, if you have ever thought of writing a book and you thought to yourself, editing a college algebra book has got to be the most boring job in the universe, it's the second most boring job in the universe. My first task this summer was to edit the index of the college algebra and trigonometry book. Because, now, think about this. Go pick up a book. If it has a really crappy index, you will know right away. Like, this index is terrible, right? But you never sit there and pick up a book and say, this is the best index I've ever seen. This is a thorough index. I'm very pleased with this index. So I spent 2 weeks just making sure the index was complete. That's a terrible job. It's a horrible job.
I do want to mention we are getting some funding. We're not total suckers this summer. We're getting some funding from a Next Generation Learning Challenge grant. We're part of the Scaffold to the Stars, the Ohio link, the Ohio library system. They want to take our book. They're helping us revise the book, and they want to link it to other open educational resources and applied statics. Their idea is if students are stuck in a problem in statics, they can click and get some information from our book to help them through that. So anyway, that's pretty much what I want to say in 7 or 8 minutes. So
that's what we got. Questions, comments, concerns?
Get a happy hour here.
I think you guys are happy enough. I don't need
We'll be here till Friday night.
That's right.
Tonight,
try the veal.
we're performing at the Sheraton. Yeah.
Did you do this on your own time? We
After
took
sabbatical,
a
yes.
sabbatical which covered 15 weeks of the 3 years we've been working on it.
Yeah, it was just a one-semester paid sabbatical from our schools, and then we launched the book live in the August of 2009 to teach it for the first time college algebra. We wrote the trig portion while we were teaching it, essentially.
So some people work on cars, some people watch sports.
Care for their children,
care
their
for their
families, their yards.
I've disappeared since 2009.
Yeah. And showed up about 60 pounds lighter and shaved. So, I mean, we got a real benefit there. So it's been but yes, we did it on our own because in Lorain County, I teach at Lorain County Community College. In Lorain County, it is an extremely depressed environment. Ohio never bounced back to go into the double dip recession. Our tuition's around $100 a credit hour. A $200 college algebra book is 2 credit hours they don't take, they don't graduate, pure and simple. We knew we had to do something, and this was really the best thing we could do for our students. That other people like it and use it is gravy on top, but we owe it to our students. They work hard, and we need to do what we can.
Any other questions? Thank you for your attention.
Thank you.